Is there such a thing as too much luck? Is there such a thing as too much fun? Messing around, wondering how it's taken so long. I'm really so strong. It's not too much at all.
Hello, everybody. Today we are trying something new. We are doing a Q&A episode, which we have never done before. And I'm really excited because it's something that I have always wanted to do. I'm very interested in hearing your questions, answering them. And so we'll go through a couple that were submitted. And if this works, please keep submitting the questions. We'll maybe try and do them once a month or once every 2 months. So our first question comes in from Sam, and they write, you went from running a nightclub at 21 to becoming an executive producer at 25. What did that version of Denise get right, and what did she get completely wrong? Good question. I did have a lot of big jobs really young because that was something that at the time felt very important to me. And that version of me, what I got right was my ability to be courageous. I was super unafraid of going after what I wanted, really making sure that I had those experiences. And we've talked about this before, but it might have been a little cringe. It might have been a little, looking at it, if someone out from the outside world might have been like, that's a little cringe. But when you're in your early 20s, it is the perfect time to go for it because you don't know anything yet. So that boldness comes at a time where, like, you're graduating college, you want to get a job. That's really important to you. You have to be bold to do that. And so it's more acceptable, I think, culturally and societally at that age to take big swings in that way, because if you're a little cringe or a little abrasive, it comes off differently than when you've had more life experience and you know better. Because at the time, I didn't know much. I knew I wanted these jobs and I wanted to do a good job and I wanted to experience what the professional world had to offer. And because I had those experiences so young and so many important senior professional experiences, it really helped me hone in now in my 30s to living a life, a more realized life, a life that's more true for me. And so I think that is what I got right. What I got wrong, I don't think I stopped to smell the roses while it was happening. I was so concerned with what was next that I don't think I really savored how enormous and amazing it was to be so young in those jobs, in those spaces. And so that's what I got wrong, was not being present enough to feel into it. And now I have the ability to celebrate life and work differently because I've slowed down in terms of, it's not slowing down. When I say slowed down, it means that I'm here, I'm present, I'm focused on what's in front of me versus rushing to the next mountaintop. Okay, what's next? Charlie says, I have a corporate job. I'm in my 20s. I work too hard. I'm very committed. I'm scared that if I slow down, everything will fall apart. Charlie, I feel this one deep. I know the feeling really well. Oh my God, it brings tears to my eyes. I know the feeling really well that if you do something different, you feel like it's going to break. And I'm going to tell you, then whatever you're building or you've worked towards is built on a flimsy foundation. And if it can break, it'll break into something more beautiful. And we should not be afraid of breaking. Oftentimes, I think now moving slower and more intentionally creates a better result. I was the queen of the get things done camp, and I got a lot of things done, but now I do things better because I take more time. I think they're more realized. It's not just about checking it off. It's about bringing more to whatever it is that I'm doing. And so I hear you, Charlie. I hear you. My heart beats for you. And I would recommend listening to our Success Wound podcast with Brooke Taylor, or The Ambition Trap with Amina Altai, or my episode about wounded ambition to healthy ambition. There is a better way of working that will support and sustain you and that can bring you more joy. You shouldn't feel overtaxed, and that if you slow down for 1 minute, that it's all going to slip away. Because the wrong things might slip away, but the right things will remain. And what you learn is that building sustainably is how we want to build. Because then we can keep building. If we flame out, or if something breaks and we have nothing left to give, then we as human beings are not able to do what we're here to do, which is to bring our unique genius and gift to the collective and to the world. So thank you, Charlie, for sharing that question with me. I appreciate you. Jasmine asks, how do I stop feeling like my life is on hold until I find a relationship? Big one, Jasmine. Good question. What we have to all realize is, I think sometimes we're waiting for this job or this salary or this milestone, this relationship, for us to feel like our life can begin. Your life is happening right now, Jasmine. It is happening right now. Do not wait for some milestone. Your life is not on hold. The opportunity you now have is to build you up, to build your life up. And the more that you build yourself, the more you'll become magnetic to a partner. When you are so full with adoration and love for your life and you're living it, then the right person can enter and live it with you. If you're waiting for to live your life for someone to be there, then that's probably not going to be a healthy relationship anyways, because you want to build a full life that someone can enter. They have a full life and you build a new dream together. But if your dream involves only another person, then what happens if you never meet that person? You want to have a life you love, irrespective of whether someone comes in and is your partner or not. And I guarantee that if you want a relationship, if that is something that is important to you, that if you fill your life up with your family, your friends, your hobbies, you love your job, you're finding ways to express yourself, that you will meet somebody probably very organically. And so what I did when I had a bad dating pattern, dating was going to be off the table for a while because I knew I had to heal things to attract something different, was I filled my own cup. I developed hobbies. I built community. I planned events. I read books. I found ways to satiate my spirit so that I knew when I wanted to enter the dating world again, that I would be a full person, meaning my life, my worth did not hinge upon whether or not I was in relationship, that I knew I was full and great all on my own. And so I just want you to remind yourself life is happening now, and go do the damn thing. And truly, if you really, really want to meet somebody and not you do anything, the friends that I have seen that have been like, I'm turning 30, I want to be married, I want to have kids. They went on 3 to 4 dates a week for 10 months. You know, they treated it like a job, and they went out, went on these dates. And if it was a dud, my friend would come meet me. We'd go out together. If it was a good date, she would not see me that night. And she did that for 10 months before she met somebody. And I have other friends. They treat it like a job. So if you want to spend 3 to 4 nights of your week going on dates, most will not be right. Most will be draining. You will meet somebody doing it that way. It's a numbers game. That methodology is not for a lot of people. It certainly wasn't for me. But if that's really what is important to you and that's the thing that you want most right now, then treat it like a job and you will definitely, without a doubt, meet somebody. Daphne writes us, what is something you'd wish you'd known in your 20s about finding purpose? Well, I'd buy my workbook, number one. That would help. That would help. Those were big questions that I didn't come to ask myself till much later, and those would have been really helpful. But I think what I really value about what I did in my 20s was someone who has many different interests, passions, talents. I let myself explore them and I started to check off what I didn't like. I think knowing what you don't like is almost more valuable than knowing what you like, because I liked fashion, right? So I spent the beginning of my career in fashion. I did a few different expressions of jobs in that business. And through those experiences, I realized I didn't want to work in fashion, that I wanted to wear clothes, not necessarily be in the business of clothing. And by having those experiences, I was able to check that off, right? And say, okay, that's not really where I want to put my energy. Then I moved to entertainment, and then I tried a bunch of different jobs in the entertainment world till I found the ultimate job, executive producer, realized it wasn't 100% where I wanted to be. And even though I was really good at it, it wasn't filling me up and giving me joy. And then I really started to pull and parse through what did give me a lot of joy. And so that is a really essential part of finding purpose, is knowing what you don't like. But the biggest part that no one tells you in your 20s is intention is really important. How you build your skill set and your expertise should be intention oriented. And I know it's a tough job market, so a lot of people are just taking jobs that they can get because they have to get by, heard. But thinking through your career with some time, space, and intention is important. So that's why my workbook is awesome, because it really gives you the opportunity to name things, write them down, and look at it. And when you look at it, you start thinking about things differently. And so I would say move with intention. Really think through what is going to make you happy long term, not just right now, or this is good enough for the next year. And in many cases, right, like we've all had to take jobs that are good enough for the time being because we have to get by. But if we can take some time to zoom out and say, do I want to do this in 5 years? What's going to make me happy? How can I move towards living a job and career with more intention and living in my purpose a little more? And now I want to remind us that not all of our purposes are our job. So some for us, that's hobbies. So I think it's really working through what is the gift I'm here to give, what lights me up, and how do I figure out how to allocate time towards that. And that's probably my great advice for finding purpose in your 20s. Okay. We'll do one more and then we'll go. I love this. I love these Q&As. So please keep sending questions. We have Carly. She says, I'm 31. I'm working in finance and I want to start a new career in my 30s, but I'm afraid it's too late. Is it? Carly. It is never too late. It is never too late, honey. I was just over the weekend with my genius friend who has been a longtime producer and writer. She is 77. She has created a card deck, and she is stepping into this amazing new chapter of promoting the card deck more. Her card deck is called the Magus. I'll include it in the show notes. And she's written mythology around it, and she channeled these cards. They came through her, and they are next level cards. But seeing her at 77, unafraid to build out a new offering is really inspiring. And I think that's the point, is that we're constantly reinventing. We have the ability to be so many things and have so many chapters. And 30s are way younger than you think they are. We have so much time to try new things. In fact, most women start businesses at 40, and that's when they become millionaires, is in their 40s. And if they're afraid to pivot, if we were afraid to pivot, you wouldn't have that. But that's the median age. It's never too late. Most women are figuring out their core vision or truth close to 40. So I think you're probably right on cue. And if I had been afraid to pivot, I would not be living a life I genuinely enjoy now. And I'm so grateful that I had the ability to say, this isn't working for me anymore. I need something else. I need something more. And in the world we live in, like, everything is very topsy-turvy. And so you can also start a side hustle while you're at your job, or maybe it's like pivoting to a different industry in a similar field or role. And you can totally start over. I'd love to learn more about how you want to start over and what you're looking at. But I think most of us need to have more courage, especially right now. If everything is so crazy, we might as well do and pursue what we love. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So go after it. Do the thing. Do the damn thing. And see what it yields. And listen, these pivots are not easy. These transitions are tough. They're definitely not guarantees. But I can say every pivot I've had, whether it's been a success or a failure, I have personally grown. I have learned so many things that allow me to step into the next thing with more expertise, more knowledge, more wisdom, just more purview into, like, you bring a depth to the next thing because you've had this previous experience. There's always a new layer you're adding. And so it's worth the time and the energy to take a swing. And the bigger thing is, if you feel like when you die, you're on your deathbed, if you feel like I'm going to regret I didn't try that thing, then try the thing. Because guess what? You can always go back and do the thing that you did before if it doesn't work out. But you owe it to yourself to try. You owe it to yourself, to your soul, to say, I'm going to do the thing or try the thing that I think we're here to do. And I'd be curious to see what happens when you do it, because my instincts say that when we're following our path of alignment and purpose, things have a way of unfolding in our favor. Thank you all for listening. I deeply appreciate this audience, this platform, the questions we get to ask. Please send more questions. I am so grateful to all of you, and we'll see you in a week, Monday, and never stop being too much. Thank you so much for listening. If you do like listening, it would mean the world to us if you could subscribe or review the podcast anywhere that you watch or listen to the podcast. It really helps with the algorithm to share this with the world. I want to give a special thank you to young Spielberg and Sarah Yarkin for their beautiful work on our opening jingle, Dana Boulos for her help with the beautiful art, and to all of you for tuning in and keeping this dream alive. If you want to hear certain topics or from certain guests, please feel free to email us. We really, really want to hear from you and see how we can best support you. See you next time.